Hi, once again, welcome to my mental monologue. I'm here with the ingenious, powerful little man,
Chris Gandelin.
and today we're going to be talking about book burning in the United States of America.
And more specifically, book burning in the modern era. Well, not only in the modern era, but historical examples of it and how those examples can be used to show the instances of modern era book burning.
What I want to talk about with this issue, and the reason why, it's a good issue, because I thought about this when I recently found out, and I'm pretty positive that you listeners are finding out that they got rid of Dr. Seuss books. Okay, and I'm gonna say a bunch of shit. Okay, Chris, I know you probably got some stuff you want to say, but today you gotta let me vent because what the fuck is going on in America nowadays? Where is the historical loyalty? Okay, to things in America, we lost the Pledge of Allegiance for no fucking reason. I mean, I'll get it. The people hate America, white, blah blah blah. It's a bunch of stupid bullshit because all people were fucked up. Okay, but what I'm saying is, you're taking something that's for children. You're taking Dr. Seuss away from people that learn how to read from Dr. Seuss, kids that in the future that could probably learn from reading from Dr. Seuss, and you say it's offensive and it's racist. Well, you're telling me that you social justice warriors, you feminists, you Democrats that's fucking crybaby minority shit, okay? You're telling me that Dr. Seuss is offensive, but what you're also telling me is that you're uneducated and you can't read nothing of fine literature. Because if you did, you would read Mark Twain and you would understand the word inward pops up multiple times. Okay, not just multiple times through the whole goddamn book. Okay, but yes, the finest American literature in history. None of you guys have protested that, but you want to protest Dr. fucking Seuss, green eggs and ham, Sam I am. I would not, could not on a plane, not without a metal vein. Would you, could you on a crowd? Okay, okay, for crying out loud. All right. My point is, y'all are ignorant. It seems that childish people that whine and cry about their feelings and emotions in America are getting all this fucking tension, and so their stuff gets banned. Good shit that we all grew up on, love that we want to share with our children, or not even our niece, nephews, whatever. A girlfriend we meet or guy, whatever the situation is, whatever the sex is, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to share shit that you love with people you meet. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't do that, then what's the fucking point? What's the point of enjoying the supposed little freedom that we have here in the United States? You know, if you take the Muppets away from kids because of one little fucking thing you saw in an old ass clip of the Muppets, Disney already fucked the Muppets up. Okay, they bought the Muppets from Jim Henson. They promised to make a Muppet Land in Disneyland, and then Jim Henson dies. So then they automatically cut off the project that they were going to open up a place for the Muppets in Disneyland. And then when they had the rights, they didn't do what I remember when I was a kid. There was Muppet movies. You go to the movie theater and you see them. They made movies and put them directly on DVD and shit. Put them directly on what do you call it, a live stream or whatever streaming. You know what I mean? And so these kids in the future right now, it's already bad. America's used to going down the shit over little stupid stuff. But out of all the offensive stuff in the world, the Muppets, are you fucking kidding me? Then they fired the guy that played fucking Kermit the Frog for 20 years before they decided they're just going to get rid of the Muppets now because you cry baby SJWs, you cry baby left wing bullshit. Okay, it's just bullshit. You're raping America's culture. Every time you take something away that says you're American, you're raping the Statue of Liberty. She's literally bending over in Times Square in Central Park, okay, getting raped by every American in this country because we don't have any liberties. You know what I'm saying? If you're taking everything away, that means something. And you're putting in bullshit that doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? You gotta stand for something or you fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? One last thing I'll say, and I'll let Chris do it. And this is what I'm gonna say. take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and then you have the facts of life. The facts of life. The time you got to know about, the time you got to grow without the facts of life. The facts of life.
Uh,
You know, what might be good for you may not be good for some. Okay? But that doesn't mean it's got to be getting rid of just because you don't like it. You know? And that's my bottom line. Sit, boo boo, sit. Good dog.
yeah, I really agree with the majority of what you're saying, especially the ignorance surrounding the people pushing for banning these books, because any person that pushes for the restriction of knowledge based off of how offensive it may be is completely backwards in thinking of how it should work. I mean, we don't censor, for instance, Mein Kampf. You can go into a bookstore and buy a copy of Mein Kampf, completely unedited, unabbreviated, unadulterated. And so we as a society are saying we are more capable of looking at Mein Kampf and absorbing that material and not accepting its ideas than looking at something like the Muppets or uh, Dr. Seuss. And the reason that it really is book burning in the modern era, some people may argue, well, oh, it's just a few books and they're just being taken off Amazon and other major book publishing sites. That's restricting people's access to them. It's the same as when we used to physically burn books. Just the only way to do that in the digital era is to remove them from accessibility.
Well, they did that in the 50s. They burnt comic books
They
because they believed that comic books were bad. They did it in the 900s. They burned Bibles. And one way the Bible managed to exist was a woman baked it into a cake.
This is one of the biggest things that I think is important for people to realize in these types of situations. So the inception, and this goes off of the idea of comic books. So a lot of people considered comic books to be immoral, causing violence and general malaise in young children. Yeah. But this has been going, and the inception of comic books were Western religious vignettes published in the mid 1840s.
Right.
And from that point forward, there have been people trying to say that these writings are going to corrupt our youth, are going to do whatever. The other thing too is by people saying that you're not allowed to see these, they think that the average person is so susceptible to corruption of thought that even a true, honestly dated imagery in a book is enough to convince them that they are a superior race somehow. I mean, nobody's forcing you to read these books. It's
Well, like I said, it shows a lack of intelligence. Yeah. Okay, like I said, if you read Mark Twain, Huckleberry Finn, the N word pops up billions of times, and people consider this the greatest American literature. But you're going to take Dr. Seuss away from Tyler's? Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, and that brings up another point. If you look at Mark Twain's books, when they've been tried to be banned in schools over and over and again, but when people bring the idea up, it's scoffed off. So why is the banning of Dr. Seuss books suddenly being accepted by the general populace with open arms? This needs to be scoffed at, just like the idea of banning a Mark Twain book.
Well, here's somebody I believe that. Okay, let's just put it this way: Sean Connery died. After Sean Connery dies, people start saying we got to get rid of some of his films, and we got to, because he was like this and that. What the fuck? The man made a legacy, left it behind. So many people have done wrong things in this world. We don't need to look at the ugly. We need to look at the positive. Even if they've done something bad, that doesn't mean that their frame of mind was the same when they did the project that was positive. So we need to look at that positive and glorify it instead of degrade the negative. And make them positive or negative, which is a known thing nowadays. So my point is this, America: we need to wake up. We need to, those that actually care need to stop these people from taking these things away from us. We already lost Hollywood to stupid shit. They keep making repeats of stuff and ruining it for everybody. Okay? It's like that's already destroying our minds. They're taking stuff that we grew up in and messing up our childhood. So why would you want to take stuff that could be the future of someone else's childhood? You know? Seeds of the future lie buried in the past. So we need to honor the things that we learned in the past that was good and pass them on to the future. And if we sit back and continue to let these people with these dumb organizations take over everything, America's is going to be one shitting pot. It's already a boiling pot. You know, what's the point? You know what I mean? And like, I mean, I can go on about certain things, but I'll save it for some other conversation. But it's just like, I don't understand. You take the Muppets. Hell, y'all already took Dukes of Hazzard. Y'all done took all this stuff. And another one, Archie Bunker, dude. Archie Bunker was the most racist TV character ever. And yet, no one gets rid of his show. No one says, let's get rid of Archie Bunker. Let's get him off of every freaking form of media. Let's get him off of DVD box sets. None of that. So all the stuff that has to do with true hatred or some kind of form of hate never gets, you know what I'm saying, banned or kicked out or whatever or something. I bet right now you guys wouldn't get rid of any John Wayne movie. But there's a John Wayne movie where a chick comes in and she's all dressed shiny and flashy and she's all rude and stuck up to him. And he grabs her, takes her around and fucking rapes her in a bar. It's fucked up, yes. But it's fucking
Or
John Wayne.
what about the Searchers, where
I mean, not John Wayne. I was talking about Clint Eastwood. My bad.
well, no, on that note,
Clint Eastwood, you wouldn't get rid of no Clint Eastwood movie.
Well, what about the John Wayne movie where he's sold a Native American wife and continues to like kick her down a hill and just berate her and make fun of her?
You see, that's the shit I'm talking about. You know, or you know, but I'm saying it's a Clint Eastwood movie. I don't know why I said John Wayne, but it's telling you, I've seen it, but I don't know which one it is because I done seen them all. I've seen the good, bad, and ugly, fistful of dollars for a few more dollars. All that shit's tight. Okay, especially the first fucking fistful of dollars because you know they shooting that fucking armor in the fucking middle of the town and shit. But anyway, it's only if you like watching some old school shit and you probably a dude and you like John Wayne. So I mean, damn it. Clint Eastwood, what the fuck I keep saying John Wayne?
Old Western
you know what I'm
stars.
Fuck it, the Gran Torino's type too. Okay? So anyway, my point is this. He did this in a movie. He physically took advantage of a woman. And no one bans that movie. That movie's been out since people been starting this banning and shit. You know what I mean? The same thing with Archie Bunker, same thing with freaking Mark Twain. So, and the Mark Twain has some good stuff that has nothing to do with racism altogether too. But still, the whole point of it is it represents the South of America, so you don't get rid of that. But you get rid of the Confederate Army because yes, there's problems with racism. But at the same time, that flag is historic. There's nowhere else you're going to see that flag in the world, but in the United States. You know, and I'm not supporting the Confederate Army, which makes no sense to support it anyway because it's fucking over 200 years ago now.
Well, and you ask,
You know?
people who try to ban that flag refuse to accept what the people who want to fly that flag say, because no matter what people who try to ban it, what meaning they assign to it, what you have to do is ask the people waving that flag, what does this represent to you? And they're not going to, I mean, yeah, you're going to find a few people who are going to say this represents the Southern Confederacy, Southern pride, and the secessionary states from the United States. But most people are just going to call it rebellion against the federal government, Southern pride, not Confederate pride, just Southern pride in general. And it somewhere lost a lot of its bite, and people gave it back.
No one in the world is going to ban Leonard Skinner. That is the stupidest shit. Now, Leonard Skinner performed in front of a Confederate flag multiple times. And they made it more abundantly clear that it's just representing where they come from.
Well, I mean, I have a Pantera poster that has a Confederate flag in it.
But Leonard Skinner is like the gods of the fucking music.
Southern swing rock.
There ain't nobody higher than that. Okay. So what I'm saying is plain and simple, especially if you call it country, because some people say it's country, some people say it's rock. Leonard Skinner is a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? And they got good chords. You know what I mean? So sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm just saying you're not gonna burn certain fucking things, okay? Like books, when it comes to certain books, I'll tell you what kind of fucking books need to be burned, okay? Like these stupid books where, like for instance, you read a fitness book and they tell you what all guys are like. There was this one article I read where the guy said, or they said, "Oh, all guys change their bed sheets," and it's like some crap where they're trying to get the women, make them learn about men, and it's really retarded. And they're like, "Oh, all guys change their bed sheets every 6 months." Bullshit! I change them as soon as they're fucked up. I don't wait till fucking 6 months to do this. But then the comment says all guys. That's bullshit. Books like that where you talk about all guys are like this or all women like this, that shit should be burnt. Because you're not talking about all guys. You're not talking about all races of guys. You're talking about probably a couple guys you knew or your ex-boyfriend or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But you're not talking about every guy. Those books should be burnt. You know what I mean? And
You know
then
what they say about bad apples?
what do they say?
Only take, what is it, one bad apple to ruin the bunch?
Oh yeah, fuck everything up for everyone. You know what I mean? But that type of book should be burnt. Uh, Books where you know what I'm saying they're calling themselves fucking like Tony Robbins and shit. You know what I mean? Those books, what do you call those books, man? Like self-help books or whatever. Those suckers should be burnt. Everybody got. I can make a self-help book, and it probably gets you further than half the other assholes that call themselves making a self-help book. Because mine would actually make more sense about humanity and interactions and proper etiquette. You know.
Yeah, people just aren't ready societally for true equality. I suppose we always are going to need an other. We're always going to need somebody to pin the blame on, and it just has slowly shifted throughout time from different groups of people in different forms of media. Right now it's Dr. Seuss. 10 years ago it was video games. 10 years before that it was movies. 10 years before that it was certain books. 10 years before that it was certain plays. It on and on and on. People and different media are going to be used by ingenuous parties to exert control.
What kind of books do you think should be burnt?
None.
Now that's a wise man, because all things obtain knowledge is valuable to somebody, and we need to value these things.
We can't stick our head in the sand and hide ourselves away from anything that might be considered prickly or hard to deal with. That is a simple factor of being a human. You need to be able to come to terms with the truth of what our world is and how hard of a place it is to exist in. That's just the truth of reality. Life is hard. It was always meant to be hard. By mollycoddling people and removing anything that might upset anyone, we are only hurting ourselves in the long run. We're making ourselves weaker for the sake of the weak.
I just want to say that it's just funny how America's changed in so many ways, and I mean I can explain so many different types of changes I've seen, and that's since the '90s to now, and it's like it's just incredible, man. I'm doing a cultural shock. I feel like an alien or somebody that time travel because I'm pretty much a loner, so I don't really care for half the things most people do. I rather just do my own thing. So it's like I wake up and like, whoa, what's going on? When I actually have to interact with society. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And that's before I really got into internet stuff. So I've just always been a loner. And I'm just telling you, this is not the America I know. This is a fucked up nightmare. So peace be with you and blessings upon you.
Thank you for watching. If you liked our video, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell
Shout out
notification.
to our subscriber Jim, not Nazium, I think his name is. Shout out to Jim Wall, peoples, and we love y'all. We want y'all to just give us some ideas on what you want to talk about. We have a shitload because we're crazy. So thank you, and peace be with you again, and blessings upon you.